Okay, so let us discuss about classes and objects. It is an instance of a class which has some physical or logical significance. Examples include table, chair, mobile, etc. Here we can see mobile, under which we can see three different pieces: Samsung, Nokia, iPhone. So Samsung, Nokia, iPhone are the different mobile companies and hence they are known as the objects. Class, it is a collection of objects, which is the building block of object-oriented program. It has its own data members and member functions which define the behavior of objects of the class. So in the example above, mobile is a class, whereas Samsung, Nokia, iPhone, BlackBerry, and other companies are the objects. Here we can also see the syntax of writing class. So we first write keyword class, then space, and then the name of the class. Then we put the curly braces inside which we have to write the member variables and functions. And don't forget to put the semicolon at the end brace. This is not mentioned here. Now let's see the declaration of classes. So here we have an example. Here we have a class student. So student is the name of the class here, and then curly braces opened. Then we can see two different words which are relatively unknown to us: private and public. Well, these are known as the access specifiers, which decide whom to provide access of the member variables to. So we'll see that a bit later. So let's focus on member variables and member functions. Now we have the member variables here: string, name, int age, float marks, and the member functions void get marks and void show details. And to represent the objects class, we simply go inside the main function and declare the object name along with the class which it refers to. Here you can see student S1. So here S1 is the object of class student having a name S1. Now let's see about access specifiers. You can see here private and public. Well, they are of three types: private, public, protected. These specify the access levels of the members of the class. Usually, the data members of a class are declared in the private section of the class, and the member functions are in public section. Let's get into the details. Private access specifier: the class members declared inside private access specifier can be accessed only by other members inside the class. An object cannot access the class members declared inside private access specifier. So in the example here, we have these member variables inside the private access specifier. So these member variables cannot be accessed by the object S1 since they are declared under the private access specifier. Then we have the public access specifier: the class members declared inside public. It should not be private, this is public. Public access specifier can be accessed by everyone, of objects, other classes, and other class members. If no access specifier is mentioned in a class, by default, the access specifier is private and not public. So here we have declared the member functions under the public access specifier. These can be accessed by the object. But what if we don't declare any access specifier? In that case, by default, the access specifier would be private. Now let's go to the last type, protected access specifier. This access specifier is mainly used in implementing inheritance in object-oriented programming. These class members declared inside a protected access specifier can be accessed only by inherited classes and friend classes. Topics we'll see in the later videos. Now let's focus on the fundamental concept of classes and objects. Okay, now let us see how the classes and objects are presented in the C++ code. Okay, so now let me include a fixed standard for storage. Okay, so now let's declare a class named student and open curly braces inside which we have to declare the member variables and functions. Not necessary that we, if we have to declare member variables, then we have to declare member functions. It's all totally based on our convenience. So let me declare two member variables. We say int age, string name, okay, and then the member function as follows: void step, void let me say void show detail. Don't forget to put a semicolon at the end brace class. Now let's go inside the main function and declare an object of the class student. So my object name would be student s1. Now let's see in s1 h. But now you can see this sort of error coming here. This is because these member variables are by default under the private access specifier and hence cannot be accessed by the objects. So we have to declare them under the public access specifier. Have done and see the error codes. Now let's see in the age. Let's see if it can take the input. Yes, it can take the input. Give 12. Okay, so it accepts the input. Now let me get all the details. Also, let me add another object s2. Okay, so in s1 dot age, one dot name, s2 dot age, and s2. Okay, let me add some definitions for the void show details function. Let me say C out, then age name. Okay, done now. Now let me call the function s1 dot, give a new line here, avoid any confusions. Okay. S1 dot show details and S2 dot show detail. Okay, so let us run the program now. It asks us for two details, that is age and name for each of these two objects. So age, let me put 18 and name as Sam. The other age 21 and name as Fran. So as you can see, it gives us the details. There's no space here because I have not given any space here. Title, age, and name. You can see whatever the details we have inputted have been displayed as in form of output. So 18 and Sam, 18 and Sam, 21 and Ram, 21 and this is how we can represent classes and objects in C++ code. As the aim of the program increases, more and more complexities have to be added. So this was a simple example of how classes and objects can be implemented. Thank you.